I remember sitting at my cousin's house about 10 years ago watching the 2007 Daytona 500. And and as I watched it, this was my first NASCAR race I had ever watched, and as it was going on, I knew that I would love this sport for the rest of my life. When Kevin Harvick won the race, I looked at my cousin and said, "He is one heck of an athlete." My cousin then said, "No, he isn't. NASCAR drivers are in no way athletes." I didn't argue with him at the time, but I knew in the back of my mind that they were. That's why in 2013, when I was watching Fox Sports and a story came on about how former NFL quarterback Donovan McNabb said that NASCAR drivers aren't real athletes, I was furious. So I begun to do research to convince other doubters that they are. And so 4 years in the making, I'm now ready to convince people that NASCAR drivers are athletes. I will tell you how long the season is, the similarities between a quarterback and a NASCAR driver, and the conditions in a stock car. So let's begin, shall we? First, let's take a look at the season itself. According to an ESPN.com report, the NASCAR season is a grueling 10 months where the drivers allow little else than eating, sleeping, and driving. Second, when you combine all the 3 to 4 hour races you get about 144 hours of racing a season. That means for 10 months straight, they are in that stock car for 144 hours. I don't know about you, but I think to sit in that car for a long time would be extremely hard. Another thing you have to look at is that they have no timeouts, no breaks, and no half times and no in betweens. And the only break they do get is during a caution, and they still have to stay in their car during this. With that, you can usually have about 1 to 2 cautions a race, but there can be many, many more. So it's not working. So the first slide is about how NASCAR is this chart about how NASCAR is compared, about how other sports are compared, and the reason it's on here is because, as you can see, with like the highest is the NFL at 62, but NASCAR, as you can see, it doesn't have a whole lot of popularity, even though some are lower, and NASCAR is only at 25. So as you can see, the popularity also can affect it. So still don't think NASCAR drivers are athletes, and if so, let's take a look at the comparison of a quarterback and a NASCAR driver. According to a BleacherReport.com report with ESPN's Dr. Jerry Punch, who used to be a North Carolina State quarterback, compared a quarterback and a NASCAR driver. He said, first off, a driver and a quarterback must both process information at high rates of speed. For QB, he has to look at the score, field position, and time on the clock before they can choose a play, and they have to do it fast. Plus, a NASCAR driver has to listen to a spotter, who is a guy who tells him has to process what the spot. A spotter is a guy who tells him when he has a clear path to go around a car or go into the pits. So when he is told something like that by a spotter, he has to process that information quick. The next thing is that both a QB and a driver have to use footwork, because for a QB, they have to avoid tackles, and for a driver, it's transitioning between hitting the brakes and the gas quickly. Finally, both could get injured, because when a quarterback gets tackled, he could get hit so hard that he could get an injury. And for a driver, when they catch, they could get injured or be killed as well. Now, many of you have probably never even been in a stock car, so you don't know what the conditions are in one. So after doing research, here's what they have to deal with. They first have to deal with a lack of oxygen, so they're in that car for hours on end, and according to StreetDirectory.com, the air is directed around the car because of the speed. So the air gets directed around the car, and because of the speed, it can never get inside it. It sometimes can't get inside. So when he does get oxygen, he has to use it efficiently. Second, the inside of the cockpit can reach up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you combine that with a 200-mile-per-hour race plus a lack of air, you see they have to have strong physical endurance. Third, when they are in the car, they deal with G-forces, otherwise known as gravitational forces. These forces basically do one or both of these two things. They either, one, will hold them to the back of their seat, or when they hit a 200-mile-per-hour turn, which this is what mostly happens, the G-forces cause pressure against the torso as it is pushed against the stock car. So, and as another thing that goes with the physical endurance is this next slide on the cautions and what different types there are. So, with physical, as you can see, between 1990 and 2017, accident and spin cautions have actually went up and down with each season. But as you can see, when other cars crash, debris, like if pieces of the car fall off, you can see that they'll get a caution, and it has went up since 1990. So they've been so for them, as you can see, they've had to have a lot of cautions caused by this. And then, as you can see, between 1990 and 2017, mechanical failure cautions have went down. But if you compare that to these two, there's still other cautions, and basically other types of cautions, which include spin outs and stuff, would be 1990. Well, that's actually that. I mean, like running out of fuel and stuff is 1990 to 2017 has actually went down, but there's still a lot. So now that I have shared with you that the season is a long 10 months, there are many similarities between a QB and a driver and the conditions they have to deal with, I'm confident that you also believe that NASCAR drivers are athletes like I do. So, as former NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon once said, in NASCAR you don't have to be physically strong as in other forms of racing. You just have to be able to endure the heat and endurance of it. Meaning, all you have to do to be able to be a NASCAR driver is really just have endurance. Thank you.